John Garrity, Allison, and Nathan emerge from the underground bunkers 2 years after the comet strikes. The world above is unrecognizable: scorched landscapes, collapsed cities, and scarce wildlife. Survivors cautiously re-establish small settlements in ruined towns. John promises his family that they will find stability and rebuild together. But whispers spread that not all groups are welcoming. The Garritys join a convoy of survivors traveling through dangerous terrain. They head toward reports of a thriving colony in Eastern Europe. On the journey, they see the devastation: ruined cities, poisoned rivers, and burned forests. Some survivors they meet have lost all hope, turning to desperation. Nathan struggles to process the broken world he now calls home. In the ruins of Berlin, the Garritys discover an improvised survivor camp. The camp is organized, with food systems and limited electricity from salvage tech. They meet Helena, a resilient leader who believes humanity can rebuild. Helena offers them shelter, but warns of roaming gangs of raiders. John senses this fragile peace won't last long. A heavily armed group storms the camp, demanding supplies. Helena negotiates, but it's clear they'll return with more force. John realizes that survival isn't just about nature, it's about human conflict. He begins preparing defenses with the camp. Nathan overhears and grows terrified of losing his parents again. Scientists in the camp reveal they've intercepted faint satellite signals. They believe a functioning government may have survived in Greenland. The possibility sparks hope and division within the survivors. Some want to stay and rebuild, others want to risk the journey. John faces the same dilemma: risk everything or cling to fragile safety. Allison urges John to consider Nathan's future. She believes chasing stability in Greenland is worth the risk. John is torn, remembering how many died during their last desperate journey. But he also knows staying means constant battles with raiders. The Garritys decide to join the mission to Greenland. The family, Helena, and a group of volunteers set out for Greenland. They travel by salvage trucks through desolate highways and ruined villages. Each night brings freezing temperatures, dwindling food, and tension. Nathan struggles with recurring nightmares of fire from the sky. Allison comforts him, promising this journey is their last. The group must cross a partially collapsed bridge. One truck falls, plunging into the river, costing lives and supplies. The survivors argue, blaming John and Helena for reckless leadership. Allison steps in, reminding them unity is their only hope. The Garritys feel the crushing weight of responsibility. A sudden superstorm, a product of the altered climate, hits the convoy. Vehicles overturn, and the group scrambles for shelter. Lightning sets parts of the ruined forest ablaze, adding chaos. Nathan collapses from smoke inhalation, leaving John panicked. The family narrowly survives, but they've lost more people and gear. Food runs out, and some survivors grow desperate. A small faction steals supplies and abandons the group at night. Helena is enraged, vowing to hunt them down. John convinces her to keep moving instead of wasting strength on revenge. But morale within the group reaches a breaking point. In the ruins of Warsaw, the group encounters soldiers claiming to be from a new government. At first, they seem to offer help, food, and shelter. But John soon realizes they're conscripting survivors into forced labor. The Garritys plot an escape, knowing captivity means death. Helena sacrifices herself to distract the soldiers, letting the family flee. To reach Greenland, the group must cross the icy North Sea. They find an abandoned cargo ship barely functional. John, with his engineering skills, helps get it moving. The sea is filled with icebergs and dangerous storms. Tensions rise as supplies dwindle, and the ship creaks under pressure. Halfway across, dissent erupts among survivors. Some argue they should turn back, claiming Greenland is a myth. John nearly loses control of the group, but Allison steadies him. Nathan bravely speaks up, reminding them why they risked everything. The group reluctantly unites again, driven by the boys' hope. The ship finally makes landfall, but Greenland looks nothing like they remember. Coastal towns are wrecked, and ash still coats the skies. Yet signs of organized rebuilding appear inland. Wind turbines, solar panels, crops. The survivors are both relieved and cautious. John fears what power struggles might exist here too. They are escorted into a fortified survivor colony. Inside, people have rebuilt schools, clinics, and functioning systems. Nathan sees children playing for the first time in years. The Garritys feel a flicker of normalcy returning. But behind the walls, politics simmer. The colony is run by Dr. Eric Vall, a visionary but authoritarian leader. He promises stability but demands total obedience. John respects his vision but distrusts his methods. Allison fears they've traded survival for another kind of prison. Nathan senses the tension and clings tightly to his parents. John learns that Vall is hoarding resources, preparing only for an elite group's survival. Ordinary families will be left to struggle outside the colony walls. John realizes history is repeating, survival for the few at the cost of many. He debates exposing Vall, risking the colony's fragile stability. Allison insists they cannot stay silent. John and Allison rally other survivors against Vall's rule. The confrontation erupts into chaos within the colony. Walls crumble, and systems shut down as factions fight for control. John struggles to protect his family amid the rebellion. In the chaos, Nathan goes missing. John and Allison desperately search for Nathan. They find him hiding in a collapsed greenhouse, terrified but alive. Together, they lead him through burning corridors of the colony. In a final standoff, John confronts Vall but spares his life. Instead, they abandon the broken colony for freedom. The Garritys and a small group of survivors leave Greenland's fortress. They set up camp in the open, near a river and fertile land. The first sunrise breaks through the ash clouds in years. Nathan smiles, holding his parents' hands as they plant seeds in the soil. Humanity's future is uncertain, but for the Garritys, hope begins again.